That is a very unhappy Anatolian Shepherd dog. So I'm glad I had my phone on me. I don't often get to catch them when they're working a whole lot. And it's nothing serious. I mean, he thinks it's serious, but we got some deer way out there, which he thinks is just not appropriate. And if I pan behind, we've got 2 Anatolians out here. And we got one over there. So you'll notice, this is Shiloh. He's our big male. And he's got a lot of experience under his belt. So this is the side of our property that gets a lot of predation. So he's running back to the barn. He's checking to see where everyone is. He doesn't really care about those 2 out there because that one is a buck that there's no love lost there. So if it was up to him, he'd probably say, "Here, wolves, come take this guy." And that little tiny goat there is not, she's on the wrong side of the fence. Anyway, so he's back in the barn right now, kind of checking everybody out, making sure everyone is accounted for back there. And then we have these 2. So I wanted to just kind of do a quick note on this. So the female right here, and then there's a male back there. Okay, so the female in front here is our older female. She's actually the mom of the one in the back. She obviously has a lot of experience under her belt. So if you'll notice, she was here on this side, closest to the fence. She was alerting, and if you'll notice at first, he was laying back. He was close to all of those sheep back there. So he's kind of staying his post here, and she's taking the front. But now I hear something else on the other side of the woods, so they're both going to take off. But oftentimes you'll see what we just saw, which is one will stay back with the flock, one will go out. See, he's kind of hanging back a little bit from mom, and mom's doing some patrolling here. And he's young. That male in the back is young. He's not even 2 yet, so he's still very much learning. Yeah, just watch where you're wetting, dude. Don't wet on your wife. Good Lord. Anyway, so he and her are a breeding pair that we've used to get that guy back there. But anyway, just interesting, the different styles of guarding and how they work. So yeah, like I said, this gal here is very much, she would be the first one out to go after something. And son back there would stay back with the group, which is interesting because he's pooping right now, but he's a beast. He's 155 pounds. That was the last time that we weighed him, and he's not done yet. And she's probably 110. Size does not always matter. Size does not always make things better at all. A lot of people want to brag and boast, look how big my livestock guardian dog is. My livestock guardian dog's almost 200 pounds, blah, 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 blah. Tell me how fast that dog can run and for how long. Size is great and important, but you need stamina, you need agility. You need to be able to be versatile. So although that male is big, he's not as fast as his mom is because she's smaller, she's slighter. The big brute there is also not as fast as his dad. Now his dad's also a big boy. He's about 135 pounds. But he's long and lean, he's tall, he's more slender built, so he's fast. Whereas this hunk here, he's very stout and very, very solid. He's muscular, but he's just not as fast because of his body shape, and that's just how it is. So don't let the size of the dog be the indicating factor of what you get. That shouldn't be your number one thing that you look at. Yes, size is important. That's why livestock guardian dogs are as large as they are. A 70-pound dog can't defend much against much. So you definitely need the size, but right, Shy Baby. What's out there, huh? Good boy. So now he realized that the deer out there okay, you know, they're okay. I just heard something scream out in the woods. So he knows the deer are okay, so he laid off the deer, came over and hung out by me. But now there was just something out in the woods that we heard holler. So now they're going to be onto that, checking that out. So it's a constant thing. We're always moving, we're always working. Right, guys? They're like, oh, oh, oh. And so you notice he's pushing them back away from that. They're not hurting dogs. They should not chase, but he's forcing them. Not chasing, but forcing them back away from that line that is threatened. And he's going to hold them back here by shelter and away from the threat. And you'll see now he's posted back here. And she's going to stay on that line. So everybody has a job. Everybody has an assignment. It's always interesting to watch a pack work. I love it. It's very interesting how they all everybody has their place and their role. Good boy, Yusuf. What a good boy you are. Good job, buddy. Yes, you're a good boy. You're learning the ropes, huh? Yes, you're a good boy. You're doing a good job. Yep, you're a good boy. Yes, sir. So yeah, I just wanted to be able to get a quick video on this because like I said, I don't always get to catch this stuff when it actually is happening. And again, if it was a serious threat, I wouldn't be able to be walking out here. He'd have me pushed out of the way just as much as he'd be pushing these guys back to shelter here. So, what in the world do you think you're doing? Sonny, have you lost your mind coming at me? No, ma'am, we're not doing that today. No, ma'am. Thank you. I'm not sure what her problem is. These two gals came to us, and they are rough. They are rough, so they're getting some TLC to try to get to good. You're a good boy. You're doing a good job, buddy. Very good. So there's something moving out in the woods. I can hear it, so if I can hear it, they certainly can, but good boy. This is another reason why if you do have heavy predation, it's always best to work your dogs in a pack. If something were to actually breach this fence and come in, he'd have his hands full because one part of him would want to have them pushed into the barn and one part of him would want to be out there taking care of things. So it's really best to have more than one dog working. So yeah, if you're in an area that has heavy predation, you got to have more than one dog. Some people find success in a male, female, some two females, some two males. It's not always the sex of the dogs that matter. It really depends on just attitudes and behaviors of the dog, you know. That's what you go with. But, yeah, just thought I would grab that quick. I don't usually get to catch stuff like this, so someday when I win the lotto, I'm going to have, like, trail cameras out so I can see more what's out here, what's moving, and how everybody works together. That's always pretty cool to see. So, thanks, guys.